Go ahead and talk.
Welcome to Radio Connections with Pace, and I am Gina Pagnotta, president of Pace.
And I am Ebony Walton, vice president of Pace.
So today let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
You missed your cue. You always missing your cue. What's wrong with you?
Because I'm trying to do it all.
Do you need some pills?
What, they're gonna help me miss my cue? They're gonna make it worse.
Okay, whatever. So greetings out there to our podcast land. How is everybody doing? And we hope that you all had a safe week and doing good. And we don't have any major shout outs today. Nobody sent us any information about being sick and ill. Right. And that sounds good. But if you are and know someone that has and just haven't sent it to us, we wish them speedy recovery. Mm-hmm. Keep you in prayers always. So what is our inspiration for today?
Our inspiration is the will of God will not take you or will never take you where the grace of God won't protect you.
Say that again.
The will of God will never take you where the grace of God would not protect you.
So that means just have faith and stay in prayer.
Stay in prayer.
And keep that in mind.
That's right.
All right. So what's the song of the week?
And keep that in mind. The song of the week is going to be, I don't know why our video isn't showing. I'm going to have to go in here because it's already good. But the song for the week I got was Everyday People by.
Well, let's see if we can get the video showing because that's one someone just texted and say they love to see us because we're the two queens. Is there a problem with the video not showing today?
Yeah, I did something different last night.
Oh, we always doing something.
I'm always doing something. You see how I had the music intro to come in by itself, so I did that.
Well, we're gonna just give us a minute
so we can continue.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. So, but
I just like
everyday people.
I like to see myself talk.
You know what? I'm so sick of her.
I don't like to see nothing popping up in her face with just say Radio Connections with Pace, which that is us. But I like to see me on the screen.
On the screen.
Because I'm a star.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, just stand by. And let's see if we can get in. I know you can hear us, but we'd like to see you and would like for you to see us. So how about this?
Go ahead. They can still hear you though, so you don't have to stop talking.
I don't have to stop talking?
No. We can.
But I like to see me.
You can see yourself right here though, Gina.
But I want them to see me.
Oh my gosh.
I want them to see us. Do you need to come out and start over?
No, here it is. Oh my gosh.
I am extra. You make me extra. So now let's start over. So what are we going to do today? Let's talk about it. She finally got on cue.
I was trying to do something different because I wanted the design to be on. But
she waits to the night before. Really?
Because I work.
Hey, somebody offered, well, they didn't offer today, I was in that class, not class, WSA committee.
Okay.
I kind of took on another hat.
As always, but go ahead.
I shouldn't have.
But I'm going to start saying no to some stuff myself because I'm tired and I can't keep up. But go ahead. What did somebody give a suggestion?
Well, I'm been elected, kind of put my hat out there and they took it and I'm now the committee chair for the policy and review.
And you don't do for little stuff. That's what I don't get. I don't mind being a volunteer here and there. She want to take over the whole chair because she's bossy.
Am I bossy?
That's what it is.
Somebody call me a bully. I'm not a bully.
I won't say bully, but
I'm a
bossy.
I'm a boss. But anyway, so the song of the day. We talked about the inspiration.
Yeah.
Prayers went out to people that we didn't hear anything about. Oh, my sorority sister, I just got word that she's doing a lot better. And so I kind of cried because I was worried about her.
Let me tell you.
So
sometimes I be wishing I'm that kind of person that I can be that emotional. I'm not. I'm just not that. It's not for me. It's not my thing. So I called Gina yesterday morning. We were just talking on the phone. All of a sudden, she just started crying. And I said, "What's going on, Gina? It's okay. I'm at the nail, getting my nails done." And she just cried on the phone. She got some good news that your sorority sister has been taken off the ventilator. She no longer. In the last conversation we had, you were concerned that she was on it and you was having a hard time. So you took it so
Because I prayed. I went in prayer so deep that night before.
Yeah.
I mean, deep. I was up there. People were talking about talking in tongues. I'm a Lutheran. I didn't know nothing about talking in tongues, but I was praying so hard, my tongue was just flapping. I'm like, Lord Jesus, I didn't know where that was coming from.
Listen, I said, wow, I wish sometimes I had that. Is it empathy? Empatheticness?
You just hard.
No, it's not that I'm hard, because I'm emotional on the inside. I'm not expressive enough because I wasn't raised in that family. Well, before that, we wasn't raised like that. You didn't cry, you didn't talk about your feelings, you didn't, so we just bottled it up, or either you express it different ways. Even when we're together, when my family's together, you can feel the love because we talk about each other.
Well, that's the light skin part of me on the side.
So
that's that
light-skinned people are
dark skin.
So light-skinned people are emotional and dark-skinned people are not. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, you just said that.
We cry. Yeah, I said it.
So black people don't cry.
Nope.
Okay.
Y'all. I mean, well, I didn't say black people. That's
dark-skinned people.
I said dark skin. So that doesn't mean
what white person you know.
It doesn't mean
do you know
black or white. I said dark.
What white skin person is dark skin?
Huh? What light skin?
What light? Yeah.
I'm not answering that.
Let's finish out.
But anyway, so what's the song of the week?
So I have I came up with Arrested Development.
Well, I came up with
Everyday People. She wanted to do she said, well,
no, you play your little bit. We do not have the rights to this music yet, so we're not going to play but a little bit. But check it out. Everyday People, light skin, dark skin, black, white, green, brown, blue, whatever.
Yeah, just a little bit, not the whole thing.
Can you move your cup?
They can't see the what they gonna see?
I don't want them to see you got a Hennessy in it.
It's not Hennessy. I don't even drink Hennessy. Okay, here it is.
I can't hear that. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. And then you want to do what?
Okay, the cut. That's your type. Now, she said she didn't hear this one. Check this out.
That's not as upbeat, though. It's.
Sometimes I'm right.
See that?
I can be wrong. My own beliefs are in my song.
That don't make me want to. It make you want to say.
That's because she ain't old school, y'all.
Listen with that.
Hey, guess what? You still. You can still do the same thing.
It's a different speed.
Oh, that's just our joke for. Oh, I gotta cut it off. That's our joke for the day, y'all. Everyday people,
because we are
the same.
Yes.
So let's talk about it.
Let's talk.
Respect for everyday people.
That's right.
Respect.
So when you think about respect, Gina, what comes to your mind?
Well, you know, one thing I hate hearing all the time. You gotta give respect to get respect.
I do too.
Don't you hate that? Who said that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
And then you gotta take the high road.
I hate taking the high road.
I know you do.
I hate taking the high road.
But
sometimes
did you ever look up for what respect means in the dictionary? You out there in podcast land, check out what respect. Give us, because I don't know where Emily get her Google, or she doesn't look under the Webster. That's what we look under.
Well, look it up under the Webster. I'd like to summarize stuff. It's still the same.
Okay, thing. So summarize what your
respect is more of like a feeling of worth or individual worth that you can relate to somebody. When you break it down, look it up in the Webster. You got your phone.
Feeling of worth.
Mm-hmm.
And
that you can relate to someone. So if, say for instance, we have the same views, or if we don't have the same views, regardless of what your views are, whether they are the same to mine or not the same, I should be able to still allow you to have your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts about your perceptions about what you have as compared to mine. You should have the same respect for me. Instead of saying, like, say, for instance, one of your favorite foods, it might be, let's just say your favorite food to eat is raw shrimp, right? And I'm like, ooh, I don't eat raw. Just something. That's not respectful of me to respond in that manner to you. That's your like. It's just not my taste. But you say that, I say, oh, well, you like raw tomatoes, raw seafood, maybe, but I would prefer mine.
I like oysters.
Yeah.
But anyway, so now
that.
let me bring it back to the beginning when we said Song of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
She played Arrested Development, which I love them. Everyday People, different concept. I played the original Sly and the Family Stone. And they were talking about just what you said.
Yep, they was.
Everyday people.
Everyday people.
Everybody has different beliefs. Everybody do things different. Everybody look different. Like I'm light skinned, you dark skinned.
Yeah. The dictionary. Respect, a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, and or achievements.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of the same thing as what I just said. You can't. Don't do that. Y'all don't understand what I have to deal with this.
What happened to my class?
I'm using my phone.
Oh Lord, we need some help, y'all. Somebody out there that's IT, help us.
Help
you
Gina,
know, help
I'm fine.
everything.
I'm okay.
But I love her to death. But anyway, we are talking about respect. That's the hot topic today.
It is.
And what is the movie of the week before we get into the hot topic of respect?
I watched The Highwaymen with Kevin Costner, Woody Harrelson, and Kathy Bates. And I don't know if y'all know that show or not. It was I like Kevin Costner anyway, and I like Woody Harrelson, and I like Kathy Bates. But they are FBI men, or not technically, but they need to catch the infamous Bonnie and Clyde. That's the whole movie. And they're retired. Those are retired. They say, good afternoon, ladies. Miss Tim.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Tamara.
We get back to you in a second. Finish this because I got something to say before I forget it. I better write it down.
You better write it down.
I get old.
Yeah, you better write it down. That's why your Arrested Development is.
Okay, go ahead and finish your.
But it's really good. It's really, really good. If I say any more, it's going to be.
Yeah, you're going to be. So you don't want to. What do they call that word?
Be a spoiler.
Movie spoiler. Yeah, like we don't want to be a movie spoiler.
But I had an urge for popcorn yesterday. You know,
and you know what? Popcorn. You're getting me on that kick. Where I was going to stop at the movie theater.
To go last night in that rain and buy me some popcorn just so I can watch.
Oh my gosh! You know, you guys. Do you all know?
I have a popcorn problem.
She will go to the movies and just go in there to buy popcorn, and come on home.
And it'll last me about 4 or 5 days in a Ziploc bag. It tastes just as fresh as it was the day I bought it.
I didn't try that. I got to try that.
It's good. I love popcorn.
Oh, before we move on, I got to say something back to the nail shop that you went.
Long as it's not, because if you say what you said over the phone, that's not going to be right.
No.
That's not going to be
y'all. Oh my gosh.
I like my lead.
Oh my gosh. She was calling. Ebony was calling me, right?
Oh God.
And she was talking to me about the podcast, what we're gonna do and everything. We always do this, right? And then all of a sudden, I heard this. I said, Ebony.
No, that ain't what you said. What did you say back, Sheena? What did you say back?
I ain't gonna say it. I heard this conversation and I'm like, who is talking to me? Because it sounded like they were talking to me in Chinese or Japanese or whatever. She says, I'm in the nail shop. I said, oh, you in the nail shop? So well, you just called me back when you finished. And then the lady started talking again. And it was so clear. I said, is she talking to me?
So what did I say? It back. I'm not going to do it. She did it right back.
I said,
all I could do.
See, somos buenos amigos. To me, that was funny.
I had to get off the phone.
Everybody hung up on me.
I had to get off the phone.
Because I was going to have a conversation.
Because I like my May Lee. I like my Lee. She's good. And
shout out to May Lee.
She thought I had left. I hadn't seen her in so long because it's over on the other side of town. And so since I was over there for some glasses, I said, let me go stop. She said, I thought you left me. You forgot. Your sister came. All my family, we all go there.
Well, listen, I am not throwing shade on the conversation or the way they talk. Because shout outs to Maylee and her shop. Does a good job. But somebody say you have an addiction. I don't know if that addiction is to your nails.
It's the popcorn.
Or it's a popcorn.
It's a bad one.
But yeah, she has a bad addiction.
When we were little, we used to on Friday nights watch movies. We wasn't really raised with TV. We couldn't watch television. So we would watch like movies. She would go to the Blockbuster and rent movies. We just had access to the DVD player or cassette tape. So every Friday was movie night.
Okay.
And we would get popcorn, Chinese food. Speaking of Chinese, but Chinese food and
I love
Twizzlers. And that was the food of the choice. That was it every Friday. And all of our sisters.
It was red Twizzlers, not the black.
Yes, the red ones.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. And
I
so
don't
that's
like
what it was.
those
And even now, Mama still eats popcorn. I eat popcorn. And it has to be moved.
Shout out to your mom. Tell her I say hello.
I sure will.
But anyway, I wrote down a hint so I can remember back to the movie of the week, Kevin Costner.
Well,
wasn't he one time being charged or called out for saying something racial?
I have no idea. That I don't know.
Look it up on Webster.
Let's see.
Google
but you ain't finna try to knock my Kevin Costner.
But anyway, she loves herself some Kevin Costner. We just got to be careful about who we love around these parts. But anyway, okay. So we want to get into, are we finished with the shout outs?
We're done with everything except we just want to kind of go a little more on respect.
Oh, gossip. We forgot the gossip.
What you got?
Well, let me see. I have my little notes here. Y'all know I'm old. I have to pull my notes out.
What happened?
And this falls in line. And y'all excuse me because it's not, nothing like that. It's coffee. She got me drinking Dunkin' Donuts. I drink Quick Trip coffee, but we're not advertising it. So make sure the white part when you drink it. It's not. This is.
I hold my hand over it. Anyway.
Yeah, we're not trying to advertise because they ain't paying us no money to advertise them. But anyway, this has something to do with respect. I saw this on YouTube where it says, "Is Keisha Lance Bottom still working?" And they were trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt a little something about that because, it goes back to being respectful. That's still our mayor.
She's still the mayor.
Regardless of what people think or what she is doing, what she ain't doing, or what not doing. But that's still our mayor. And we need to be more respectful because I know how I feel when we bust our grind trying to help our members. And I be complaining to you. I said, no, she didn't. Had the nerve to say something like that.
Yes,
and what I be telling you. And you be trying to calm me down.
And then when they do me, I be so.
You be upset. We be in the same way.
They don't understand.
They don't understand. And see, sometimes we can't, as a union, tell you everything because some things are confidential that you can't know. And we share with you what we can share. Individual issues we can't share with you.
Yeah.
What we're doing until we can get a resolve, then we'll let you know. We'll give you a heads up. And then I'll come back and let you know this is what we asked for. This is what we got accomplished. But because you don't hear nothing from us, don't think we're not working. And we send out emails every day from the 1 to 2 podcast. We take our time out. We don't get paid for this. This is something for a platform for the union members to join in. We have some diligent members that always show up. Thank you, Ms. Williams. Thank you, Mr. Martin. Thank you all that do show up. And then we even have it where it's reserved, where if you can't do it from 1 to 2, you can go back at night on the weekends and pull up all the podcasts. It's still out there in our library. Just go on to YouTube, go on the search engine, Radio Connections with Pace, and pull up everything that you want to see and hear. And we also getting ready to create a newsletter to send out to you to let you know what we're doing. Or something you can email us, text us, call us. We tell you that all the time.
We just had meetings with
311
and
911 after hours on a Zoom. So some things you yourself as a member have to become a participant in.
And I updated the website last night. So when we do have meetings, or if you want meetings in your area, let us know. We'll put it on the calendar. We'll put the things that we are taking to city council or your department heads about. And we just want to keep you abreast. It's just us two that's working. Well, we have about 5 or 6 on the board that's working.
We lost 2.
We just lost 2. So
we work. One retired, 2 retired. One coming back though. Thank you, Terry Moon, for coming back. You decided to leave, but you changed your mind. I know you because you love Pace, so you want to come back to work with us, and we welcome you back. So we'll put you back up on the website.
I know, because I took them down quick.
Yeah, I know you did. Like ugly, but anyway, our website is going to be up and running.
It's already
but it ain't running.
It is.
Yeah, we got to do some stuff.
You can still go to the website.
Yes, you can, but I want to do a launch. We need to do a website launch, and I want to do it right before we have our annual cookout.
So extra.
Yeah.
So extra.
Be so professional.
She's so extra.
So we're going to be able to have where people can come on and join the union online.
Yes.
And then, everything you need to know is going to be interactive. And that's what, we want to work with. You didn't know that yet, but I was just going to tell you about it. We want to make some interactive stuff. She don't know. Ebony is doing a heck of a job. I have to give her props, even though I get on her a lot of times, but that's just me being bossy, as she say.
That's it.
But she's doing a heck of a job, and we need you members to come in and assist anywhere you can.
Yes.
So we're going to have our annual picnic on August the 21 right now.
Okay.
And at that point, we're going to have a lot going, but I don't want to say nothing too much about it until we get everything solid and in writing.
Yes, definitely.
The other part is, and that's your Blue out there running after them chickens. You need to go stop him killing them chickens.
I put the chickens away so he don't.
So y'all that don't know, she got chickens. She don't have to buy eggs at the store. Then she went and got a Doberman, pretty Doberman, but they hyper. And she put him out there, and he runs the chickens crazy. Poor things. But anyway,
he does.
So, and there's another thing about respect. Mm-hmm. You remember we talking about that? I still can't get over the fact that MPU people, 80-something people, were so disrespectful.
They were.
I said this last week, but I just cannot be in a setting where, sometimes I can be unhinged, but not disrespectful.
There's a difference. It's a difference than you disagreeing with what I'm saying than being disrespectful. Okay, so let me give you an example of what I experienced, and this is an ongoing situation. So last week we were in our roll call, and this happens quite a bit. Different employees do it, and so we come to work. You have certain assignments that you get. You get an assignment, whether it be a different zone. First half, maybe you answer the phones on one side, or maybe you go to fire. It just depends on what you are trained in. Sometimes, because of our staffing, we do our sheets ahead of time to know who's going where, to try to keep people not going to the same assignment every day, which at the end of the day, we all get paid city money. Whatever the job is, it's the job, right? Rather, that's just the preference that they've done. So anyway, this one particular young lady felt like she received the same assignment too often. And again, things change. We have call outs. When that happens, you have to move people around, and you have to move them around according to skill set. So the supervisor was talking at that moment, giving out the assignments to everybody, doing roll call, seeing who was there, who was not. And during that process, as she gives the young lady her assignment, the young lady said, "I got this particular zone again." That's being disrespectful.
That's being ghetto.
And Gina said it. It's being ghetto. So while someone is speaking, I was always taught to allow that person to complete whatever they're saying before you say anything, right? Whether you are right, whether you're wrong, it doesn't matter. Let them have that floor because they have it. That's respect. That's how communication works. You let me talk, then you talk. Then it goes back and forth. That's proper communication, but it's showing respect. And I was so proud of it. I was happy because the supervisor did not say anything back. She just continued on as if she never said, like you said in the MPU, thank you. She didn't. She just kept it moving.
Thank you for the compliment.
Because most of those people, they just want some type of attention. They're trying to get a rouse out of you or something. And at the end of the day, you have no respect. You have no, and we see this all the time, whether you like somebody or not. If they are a supervisor over you, regardless, it ain't, I respect you, you respect. No, you have to respect certain titles. You have to respect those that are over you, as long as they're not.
Well, it's like in the military, when I was in the military, and still people in the military, you don't have to respect the person, but you have to respect the title or the bars, as we used to
and
call
then
it.
Why would you not respect the person? What is it about that person that you wouldn't respect?
Well, in the civilians in the city of Atlanta, some of those people don't probably rightfully fit for that job. Then they take in, like some of the comments that I'm reading here, they take things personal, especially when you disagree with something that they have. And that comes from lack of quality leadership, because some people, everybody is not meant to be a leader. And you cannot make a leader. The leaders are born, or there's an innate ability or God-given gift for you to lead. You could be a strong advisor, supporter, but it's not necessarily that you're going to be a strong leader.
Exactly.
You're a follower, and people need to understand what role you fit in. Am I a follower? There's nothing wrong with being a follower.
Not at all.
Because you can be a great assistant. Like you're a great assistant to me. I wouldn't say that you are a leader, because me and you talked about that.
Mhm.
I'm trying to help groom you so one day you can step in my shoes or someone else can.
If that's
But
the situation.
if see now you
If I'm just saying, because
that's what you call. Did you just say
I'm
respect?
just saying.
That's ghetto what you
I'm
just
just saying.
did.
That's how I go.
They were just talking about respect.
That's how I go.
What I talking? I love it. But anyway, so we're just showing you how things happen. But you got to be able to hold your own. And like I see a comment in the why I don't like doing whole meetings, the person is saying this, I have to hold my tongue. So, well, it's when you get to that point where you got to hold your tongue because there's certain things you want to say. Now we're personal.
Mhm.
And so that's because either that person has done something to you or they don't have a sense of what's going on, a design of what's going on. And then you want to say something and you're afraid to say something because that person or leader might shut you down. And then it gets personal. And the only way we can get by there, you're right, is hold your tongue. But later you can put that stuff in writing. But
Exactly.
but meetings should be able to have a open dialogue.
Yes.
But with respect.
Yes.
If it's a meeting.
And in meetings, I've been in meetings where I've been accused of all kind of things, but I allow that person to say what they're going to say because that's being professional and respectful. And I respect myself, so sometimes it's a reflection of you. Like in relationships, how people act, it's a reflection of how they're being treated or how they presume they're being treated. I'm not sure what the young lady, later on, I was told that she felt some things was personal. But again, we have to sometimes put our feelings in check. My perception of why I'm being treated a certain way I don't know where it would stem from, but what I need to figure out, where is it stemming from? Because it could just be something in my head. It could possibly be something that has nothing to do with this person having a personal vendetta, but in my mind, if that's what it seems like. So get that under control, figure that out. If you need to have a sit down talk or find out what exactly it is that those people doing, that's what you need to do. But sometimes it's not in the job that we do. I know I personally do not have time to sit and nitpick with.
Are you reading the dialogue?
I am. No such thing as open
dialogue in the city of Atlanta. Well, when I have meetings, Tamara, it's
open dialogue.
I'm gonna have
until she say, "Let's get the elephant out the room," and then her voice changes.
Yeah, well, that's my thing for everybody out there. Know when I say I'm gonna get the elephant out the room, the dynamics is changing.
Things change.
So we need to figure out how we're gonna envelop a very good atmosphere, because either you're going to escort me out the room or I'm going to have you escorted out the room, or we're going to shut this meeting down, because that means somebody is blowing smoke up my ear.
Your ear.
My ear.
Mm-hmm. Your ear.
That's what I want to say.
I know what you're going
to say.
You
wait till God give me the gift to be 70 years old. I'm going to say just what I want to say. It ain't going to be trying to cover up nothing. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Blowing smoke up my ear. You know what I mean. Right now, I got to be respectable.
You have to be respectable.
But when you hit 70 and older, you say what you want to say.
You've gained that right.
So the bottom line is there's no such thing as open dialogue. And you know what, you guys, you're right, because I hear that a lot. And that's what PACE is trying to do with the new regime that we have on board in City of Atlanta Human Resources Department. We are meeting with them regularly now. Mr. Norman is open to chat with us bi-weekly. We got another meeting coming up, and he is looking forward to working with us. He's asked me to be on a committee that he's putting together for reviewing some policies and procedures. That's why another reason why I kind of took on the chair being over the policy and review board with the citywide safety committee, because I'm trying to see if there's any way that we can kind of balance and merge these two, because it's important to me and my legacy whenever. It's important to me that I was able to get some consistency throughout the city, where I hear all employees and having issues with leadership or supervisors. And some supervisors say, Gina, I just don't know. Nobody's training us. Nobody's telling us.
They're not.
And we're just hoping that we can get this training that we're asking for new leaders coming on board.
Need it.
And knowing what the codes are. And you all can get these municipal Mooney codes and understand what your rights are, so that you can be respected. And listen, union leaders, union stewards, you all had your training, and we're going to do some more training so you'll know what to do when your members come to you and need some help. But members out there, you have wine garden rights. I'm going to say this every meeting, every podcast. Wine garden rights means if you are called into a meeting and it's going sour, stop that meeting and said, I want to exercise my right to have union representation. Boom. And that's it. Step out of the room, call us, text us, one of us, and we will be providing you with all that information on our website. You all know me, gpagnata@atlantaga.gov. You know Ebony's email address. And just reach out to your stewards. We're going to have stewards all over in different areas. But we're working with the city to try to get rid of some of those gray areas. You know, I can't stand gray areas in policies.
You have a lot of
this
problems.
is not about being political and running for an office where you got gray areas. We need we need consistency and ABC 1, 2, 3 blocks.
Yes, we do.
When it comes down to how to discipline.
Because when those gray areas are there, that's where leadership takes it and runs amok. They figure out a different way to get you, and they will do it. They will do it.
Okay, let's go to some of the chats that we see. Thank you guys for chatting in. Let's see. Talking to HR is like talking to a brick wall and they don't listen. Gina, they will listen to you. But that may be true out of respect. But you don't know what they be saying about me behind my back. And I'm not stupid. I know because I got that sixth sense. See this right here? That's that eye. Remember we talked about that eye? I got that eye. So you all can sit up there and grin and skin in my face all day long. I'm already feeling your spirit. I felt your spirit when I walked in the door. So, and I'm going to, because the spirit of me, I'm going to say what I got to say. And when I ready to get the elephant out of the room, I'm going to let you know it's coming. But quit being evil. And how many times I say that? Stop being evil. This third eye see you. And so the bottom line is they may listen to me, but the bottom line is that I'm hoping going forward, this new regime, that just listening to me is not going to solve the problem. Let's get some work done together. Listen to what I'm saying, trust what I'm saying, and let's do it together. What else we got in there?
So Benjamin says he's putting a plug. He has a webinar with the National Safety Council, August 4th of this year. It covers how to integrate leadership education. He's going to send us a link to it.
Okay.
And that's what we need. Like yesterday, I called you because I had a young man call about an OPS package. He called.
An OPS package, explain to the viewers what that is.
So that is a package where after you receive, so you have your progressive plans of disciplinary actions, that you get a memo, your oral, and then you get a written reprimand. And if it continues, depending on, it's a gray area because it says you can do 1 or 2 orals. Then once it progresses up to oral, let's see, your written reprimand, then it goes up to an OPS package. OPS packages, you can get days on the street, you can get with no pay. I don't think they pay you when you get days on the street.
So your OPS package is primarily what the civilian side says is a notice of proposed adverse action. OPS is an adverse action.
And we do both. So that's for our civilians and our sworn. We both of those.
I would like to get that changed. That OPS package, to me, that should be something for civilian, the sworn.
Yeah.
And see, here we go again. Consistency. Notice of proposed adverse actions and final adverse action. Those are for civilians. And even in 911, that's what it should be called. There shouldn't be no such thing as OPS because you're doing the same thing. The only difference with the OPS is you're doing it something like you're sworn doing an investigation. On the NPAA and the FAA is the same thing.
So what's the NPAA?
That's notice of proposed. This is what I'm planning to do. Call you in, bring in your union rep, and we put you on notice that this is where your deficiencies are. We talked with you about this. Here's the attachments backing up with what we said to you several times before. No improvement. So here's our plan of action: either days without pay, suspension, or termination.
And that's the NPA. Then what's
that's the end. The FAA is the final adverse action, meaning that you've had an opportunity to come and speak. And we looked at everything, and you showed your evidence, you appealed whatever, and then we're giving you the final say so. Okay, we're either gonna stand. See, but y'all, but you're not doing what the code says for civilians.
That's
a gray area.
It's a gray area. So the young man called, and they were asking for me to come in. But once you get to that point, that's beyond me. But
it should not be beyond you, because meaning not you individually.
Yeah.
Because this is where the problem comes in. Because when you're doing an OPS package, that is like a notice of proposed adverse action as a civilian, you have the right to have union representation. And they would shoot off an OPS package without giving them the rights to representation.
Yeah,
and that's where they're violating your wine garden rights.
Yeah.
This is why I'm telling you, you as an employee of the city of Atlanta, it is in the code, you have the right to representation. If you are in the union with PACE, you have the right to have a union representation. So you ask for it. Do not be afraid to ask for it. That's what we're here for. That's why you remember. Ask for it. Okay, so now what else we got going on?
When public safety gets in trouble, no pay. Oh, And that's probably what sometimes they double stand. Yeah. Sometimes they, hey, Miss Brown. See, Miss Brown is back. That's the one that was here with us last time. But yeah, so the supervisor actually called and said she knew he was, once he said he was a union member, she was like, okay, so she wanted to go ahead and do it the right way, because he received a counsel form for this same situation on last week. And now they wanted to upgrade it to an OPS package. So I told him, well, you have to, I reached out to Mike, and then they'll have a meeting, I think maybe this Friday or something. But I can't really talk about the situation.
Yeah, we can't talk about it, but let's just say this. Out of respect, when you do respect in the city, it goes both ways, people. As a subordinate, let's call it what it is. If you're not in charge and you're not the leader, you're considered a subordinate. Okay, subordinate. And that's why you have that rule or deficiency of discipline called when you're insubordinate. Yes. Okay, you heard of that? Insubordination. You are subordinate. So when you are disrespecting your leadership, it's called insubordination. That's it. And you can be wrote up for that. You have not following directives, being insubordinate. But one of the things that I want to look with Commissioner Norman and talk about with the committee is I don't like that stuff where and all else included or any other thing that they can throw in. We should stick to example 114, 528, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't or any other. Because I've seen some got a reprimand coming out now that I'm looking at. I start laughing. It was funny to me. That person did like 7 infractions. I'm like, good Lord, and one reprimand? You can't do that. That's what they do. And you can't do that, because you got to have documentation backing up each infraction that you have, and it should be separate, because I might have improved in one of these and still have some issues going on over here. So you trying to put it all in one. That's so disrespectful. And it's disrespectful because you're not leading appropriately. And if you're not leading appropriately, you're being disrespectful to your subordinate. One of the things that I'm noticing now, so we have... Notice how I grab my cup of coffee, like I said something.
Now you're drinking your tea. Huh? So one of the things that I'm noticing, we have a lot of new employees, right?
Right.
We have these new employees. Our departments are releasing them because, we are short. So they're releasing them sometimes before they are completely trained all the way. We have a certain amount of time that they're supposed to train. Some of them, since they come from different agencies, they might feel like they don't need the training as extensive as the other persons. But that's just, to me,
right,
stick across the board. Everybody get the same amount of training, same amount of time, regardless of where you come from. That way, it'll cut down a lot of this picking and choosing, right? So now you have a lot of these employees that have been released. Some of them, I have 2 young ladies I know been released. She sent the issue from last week. They were released during the protest last year. And they were released because we needed people. A different watch released them. They said, well, we'll pay attention. We'll watch them and whatnot. Okay, months went by. Now these same young ladies, because they were released too soon, they kind of having a little difficulty taking correct calls, leaving out some information or not using the right signals, all of that. Well, that stems back to they didn't have all their full training, and now they're getting written up. Well, is the write-up really their fault? Is it their fault? I mean, honestly, if they were released before they should have been released, we knew that they shouldn't have been released.
You all just had some bad leaders over there. That's the bottom line. I'm just calling them up.
Yeah, that's the problem. So let's stop releasing them before they need to be released. And so then they won't be able to rebut and say, well, actually, I didn't even have my 6 weeks training. I only had 3 weeks training. And now you expect me to do something that a 6 week person has had training to do, and I can't because I've only had 3 weeks.
Well, one of the things that I think, and it goes not just in 911, but it goes in 311, and it goes in all across the board in the city, because HR needs some folks over there.
Don't retire yet, Tamara. Don't retire.
She talking about retiring?
She ready.
I'm gonna get to that. Let me write that down. Retirement. Let me talk about that. Okay. Hold on, Tamara. I'm gonna get to that. Okay. So maybe lose my train of thought.
I know.
See, I told you I'm old.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, what was I talking about? We talk about everything. We talk about the city. Anyway, I forgot. Maybe it'll come back.
I was talking about
what we talking about?
Training people being released too soon.
Yes. You know, you are, if you I ain't thinking about her. But anyway, are you hitting on the light-skinned person because I'm old?
Not at all. Nothing about your skin color.
You always doing that
you
to me.
That.
But I know. But anyway, my point is, if you all are already having issues when people are coming on the floor and not fully trained,
exactly.
So you still having issues, why not let them stay and get fully trained?
Because we should, obviously. That's what in their mindset. That's how.
But that's crazy thinking.
To me too, Gina.
That's crazy thinking.
Too.
Train these people so when they get on that floor,
they ready,
and if they're ready. And when you do that, then over time, you will start having a better environment. It goes across the whole board.
And again, another thing, not to cut you off, but so they get these people and they're in the back in training and they have bad attitudes. First of all, we know what kind of job it is. And the training is very strenuous. It's very extensive as far as dealing with people, because this is a life and death job, right? So you can't be a trainer and just be real passive with people. You can't be disrespectful, but you got to be stern about it.
Right.
If you know this is what it's supposed to be, then ma'am, no, this is what you need. You know, so some people can't handle that. But you know that in the back, before they come out on the floor and they have behavior problems, why are we dealing with them when they come on the floor? If you knew that they had behavior problems in the back, nipped it in the bud. When I can remember 10 years ago when I started, we didn't have those issues because the training department was a different type of environment. They didn't play that back then. And it needs to still be the same thing. Don't play with these people. That's why that was a good idea when on the meeting for sending the training department to this academy, having that center in the academy, because we keep our trainers at our 911 center, which I don't think to me is a good idea, because once they start, somebody else is overseeing our training department that's a little more strict, then that would be, I think the people, once they start seeing you got these trainees coming in, they barely coming to work back there. If they barely come to work back there, when they release, you think they're going to still come to work?
Okay, well, let's bring it around. Let's bring it around to the whole city. Okay.
Yep. Everywhere.
We got bad leaders. Okay. Now, the pandemic has put us out where you guys know that I'm more in your face type person. And so hopefully when we get back to full opening and we start having more one-on-one, more in-face meetings, or we can have virtual meetings where people will quit giving me that circle and let me see your face so we can talk face to face, that we're going to talk about who these bad leaders are, because you know me. If anybody don't know me, you'll get to know me. I'm going to call you out. And I'm not just going to call you out because I don't like you. I love everybody. But when you're doing wrong and you're doing my folks who I represent wrong, and we got black and white proof and we know what we're talking about can be, we can show you evidence, I expect that our HR team, our HR committee, even up to the mayor's office, even up to the city council is going to handle you. You guys have got, if you feel uncomfortable as a leader and you want more training, don't feel ashamed to ask for it. But what you're gonna do, I'm being, is that being a bully? What you gonna do?
Being you, Gina.
You're gonna stop talking to these employees any kind of way. They're not your wife, they're not your mother, your brother, your sister, your cousin. They're not your family member. And if that's how you talk to your family member, then you got a problem. You look at these folks, even from men to women and women to men, whatever, whoever you talking to, that's somebody's husband, brother, father, sister, mother, cousin, and you respect them. They have to go home safe, just like you want to go home safe. And what I will not tolerate from members or leaders, whether you in the union or not, is disrespect a person's ingenuity, expertise, or just because you don't like somebody. And that's why we're going to try to come up with some kind of system for unclassified people.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of seeing unclassified people just walk out the door just because somebody don't like you. And so now they feel they can do that. I'm seeing that starting all over the place. And that's got to stop because it's costly to the city.
It is.
And people don't understand you are here as an integral part of the city of Atlanta. You are paid to do a job. If you don't know your job, then you need to be man or woman enough to say, you know what, this might be above my head and expertise. Can I step down? Give me another type of job that I know I can do. Give it to somebody that can lead and know how to handle people. You can't make nobody work. No. You have to encourage and empower them to work. You just like if you got children, not knocking single people, but if you got children, can you make it? What you gonna do? Beat them? You can't make kids do nothing you want to do nowadays. You got to empower them. You got to stroke them. You got to touch them. Well, not in the workplace, but your children. But you know what I'm saying?
And if you educate them, that's the best way to empower somebody.
Listen, and be open-minded. I am proud to have a team. Gina, personally, I am proud to have my team supported me while I was teleworking from home. And I'm coming back to work now. And I'm going to do something nice for my team. Because I trained them and educated them. And they were there, Johnny on the spot. We were great with our doggone evaluation. Those were exceptional people. And this year, I would not accept nothing less but outstanding on each one of those evaluations. I'm going to put it in. And if it get kicked back, we're going to have a problem. Houston, we're going to have a problem. Because we had a negative 1.2% overall annual inventory with me teleworking, and my team was Johnny on the spot. But you know what? You got to learn how to manage your people. Right. Now, did we have some ups and downs here and there? Yes, we're human. But I respected them when they said, well, Miss Pagnata, I think you're giving us a little hard or whatever they wanted to say. And I didn't go off like everybody else. You're going to do what I say. No, I sat back and said, well, why did you think that? I let them vet in. I let them make suggestions. And I opened it up, whether it was my way or not. I said, okay. But inside of my head, I said, now, if it failed, I'm going to come back on them. But I let them do it. And guess what? Some of those ideas were great. And that's and you are supervising and managing over people, you got to start treating people the way you want to be treated. It ain't you got to give me respect to get respect. I ain't got to give you nothing. I ain't got to give you nothing. You ain't put on this earth for me to give you nothing. You are paid by the city of Atlanta, just like I am, to do a job. If you are a leader, your job is to lead. Your job ain't to be a bully to me or threaten me or do none of that. Now, a question was in one of the chats was, when you are disrespected, what do? You want to give them a hint on what to do? When you are disrespected, when you say, give me an example. Well, no, I would write it down. I would write it down. I would put it in writing. What happened? Who did it? Date, time, everything. I would put it down. Any witnesses by? And you would send it out to you. I'll file a grievance. Well, before you get to the grievance part, it just depends because I've been okay, so let's use my example. One of my superiors said something that was on the floor and it was just disrespectful. But this is the nature of this particular person. So I pulled her in the office, as I have done several times prior to. And I told her, this is what happened. I felt like this is what you did. And this is what it made me feel like. This is what you did. And I felt like what you did. This is what you did. And this is what it made me feel. That's unprofessional, blah, blah, blah. So we back and forth. Well, why would you say that? And I said, well, this is what you said. This is how you said it. This is no other way to do it. That shouldn't be done on the floor, period. And you were wrong. So now she didn't really accept it, of course. And it continues to happen. Then we I make a note of what happened. I always send anytime I have a conversation, I'm sending it to Gina and Mike. I'm letting them be aware of it before. So it doesn't seem like I'm being retaliatory. So then if it happens again, which it did, okay, she's not getting a hint.
And in the position that she's in, you should be able to understand what I'm saying to you. And you should be listening to me. If I'm telling you that you disrespect, if I'm telling you stepping on my foot, why would you continue to step on my foot, Gina? You wouldn't if you respect me, right? But if you can care less about me, you're going to continue to step on my foot. So now, yes, then I filed the grievance. And so we have a grievance coming up because some other things have happened since then. But other than that, when someone's being disrespectful, when someone is being disrespectful to you, write it down, talk to them about it. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. If that's not the case, then it continues to go up. Continue to write it down, continue to remark it, continue to send that information out until it gets to that point. Give them what, 1 or 2 tries, 2, 3, maybe 3, depending on how serious it is. 1 or 2, and then file your grievance.
She's giving you the professional way to do it, but now let me give you the real way.
Professional way.
Okay.
Go ahead.
If you are being disrespected and you're not able to stand your own ground, this is what you do. You tell them, I need to record this conversation going further. If they refuse to have this recording, then you say, then I don't need to talk with you at this point because I feel you are disrespecting me and I need to have my union representative with me to further this conversation. End of story.
What if the conversation is on the floor or out and where it's not behind closed doors?
Then you tell them you have disrespected me. You have disrespected me. Period. You have disrespected me. And if they don't want to have a conversation with you at that point and it gets worse and worse, then you just write your statement. You call me, stop that conversation, get on that phone right in front of them. I'm calling my union rep. You all need to put our numbers on speed dial, what you need to do. So all you got to do is hit number 1. And then you call the number right away. If I don't answer, then you text me urgent and let me know I'm being disrespected. You better believe I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll be calling you. Excuse me just a moment. I got to take this call. Who disrespecting you? You know I will. Who disrespecting you? Put them on the phone. Put me on speakerphone. I have done that. Put me on speakerphone.
Yeah, you have.
And we'll be at it. You don't have to come to work to be disrespected. Yeah. And you don't need to disrespect nobody.
And you can, I remember once I had just got to work and it was just hectic already. This particular same one. What I did, I went to our captain and I said something to the captain. I said, listen, I just got to work. Just walked in the door. I'm not going to put up with X, Y, and Z. So either you guys can go talk with her or I'm going to go home. I said in a respectful way. Trying to get smart. The look on my face was enough to know that, listen, she's gonna go home. She's serious. So that's what I did. Once I told him that, I don't know what he said. That young lady did not come back out of her room till about 11 o'clock. That's when the shift was over.
But then you have that ability to do that. But we have some members that don't.
People that don't.
You have that kind of kindred spirit that you can say, but we have some that don't. So we're really talking to the ones right now that you don't.
But you can say that.
Let me say this too. Here's another one.
What?
When you, like, if you're running late, and try to be on time, folks, be on time. I'm not telling you to run late. Be on time. That's what you're supposed to do. Report to work on time. But if you run on late and you got a supervisor standing there and doing this, looking at the clock, that's a threat. Did you know that?
I've never experienced
that is emotional threat. Because what they're saying is, I'm looking at the clock and I'm watching you, so I'm threatening you for whatever reason I want to do that.
I've never seen that. That's happened before.
All the time. Some people telling me, oh, they standing by the clock, or they pointing at their clock because I was a minute late or whatever. That's a threat. I didn't know this was a threat. And you can ask our comrade, Mr. Alex. But this was the Cap County. We was at the movie theater and someone was pointing, you know me, I'm being nosy. I'm trying to see what's going on. But one of the employees was pointing at a customer and was pointing that you better get out. And so the police, when they came up and investigated everything, said, you can file a report because they threatened you with the finger.
Really?
I didn't know pointing at somebody was a threat. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So if anybody's pointing that finger at you in your face, that's a threat. You have the right to call 911. You can call your union steward. You can call whoever you want. When you're doing this, because they're saying this is telling you that I'm going to do something to you because I'm exclamating you. So that's a threat. I didn't know that, but see, some simple little gestures is a threat. So we got to understand.
Yes, they do. Faith,
you know,
257.
So there was a chat that came in and talked about training mandatory yearly. I am in agreement. I think all leaders, supervisors, managers, anybody that's in a leadership role should be mandated yearly to have some type of leadership training. One day, half a day, 2 hours to refresh your training.
More, I think, to be honest with you, for leadership training, you need more than just one.
No, this is a refresher.
Oh, a refresher.
So when they come in and get promoted, you should have that mandatory, whatever it is, 3-day training. It should be automatic. But then you should have a refreshers training for everyone, and it should be consistent. It should be driven by HR, not the department. It should be driven by HR. We should have sexual harassment refresher courses every year. It should be driven by HR. We should have safety training that should be driven by the Citywide Safety Committee, or in concurrent with the Department Safety committees. All of these things should be mandatory every year.
Why don't you apply for HR position?
No, I can't do that. All that. No.
Why not?
I got to be in charge. I can't.
It should be though.
If I was in HR, I got to be the commissioner. I can't be working.
Well, do that then. We had that class. Remember, I was at that class we tried to do the show that day. So we was in that particular class, and they was having leadership. We was doing role play, and with leadership classes, that's what I think you should do, role play. So they gave you a scenario. And in the scenario, whether it be dealing with a difficult person, and that
scenario,
how do you say
that dark skin?
Don't do that. Whatever. They know what I'm saying. I know how to spell it. Scenario. Tomato. There you go.
She says tomato.
Anyway, so what they did was they had the script on a paper. Okay. Somebody was the employee, somebody was the manager or the supervisor, and they had to act it out. And it showed you a whole lot that some people don't like to deal with confrontation, and some people deal with confrontation too much. It's too authoritative. So it was really good to watch and to see. And then once they critique it, well, this is how it should have been done. When you're doing leadership classes, confrontation should be like one of the main goals, because you're dealing, especially with different generations. Everybody handle things differently. Or not even just generations, different perspectives, different lifestyles, different cultures. Right. Everybody handles stress and problems, or some people say islanders are rude. That's their nature. Some people are you just have to be able to do that. And you, in order to do a good leadership training, I think it has to be not just all the way hands-on, but it has to be some type of acting out. It needs to be some acting out.
Well, we'll see some chats. And the chats, one of the chats was talking about valuations from subordinates. We used to supposed to have that. HR let that fall, not the one that we have now, and not Miss Marion Woods. Right before Yvonne Yancey left, that was a mandate that we were supposed to be able to evaluate our supervisors. And somehow that fell down. It didn't work. And then we talked about, so maybe we got to bring that back up in the HR committee if we ever get it going. And I'll mention that. And then it was something else in the chat, supervisor employees doing that. They should be written up. You're right. But I always tell HR, who's going to police the police? So we do need a committee. And trust and believe, PACE is going to be on that committee. And they're going to hate they invited me, but they're going to love me in the end. But I got a whole bunch of stuff taken from what you guys are making suggestions to us, and some things that we know that works. We're going to bring that to the forefront, to the table, and see if we can get some of this stuff implemented and get some of these things changed. And what was someone in the chat was talking about Jim Crow. Jim Crow culture is alive and well. Yes, it is alive and well. And let me say this. Ebony and I tease each other about, the dark skin and light skin. It's just something we do. Because I'm good in my color skin. There's no prejudice or racial divide. Just for you all to know, my mother was Black and my father was white, Sicilian. And so I can be on both sides of the fence. It don't bother me. Been through it all, been through the racism, been through the busing, been through everything. And as you know, with Ebony, and with your upbringing, you was always, you grew up, whether you was dark, brown, light, or whatever, you had a hard lifestyle, life upbringing. I had one, but I was privileged, and she tells me that all the time, you're privileged. I was privileged, but it was still hard because you know what? We had some of the same issues, just on a different level. I might have had a nanny and had all of this, didn't learn how to cook and didn't know all of that.
Whereas I came home and we had to cook.
You had to cook and do things like that. But at the end of the day, when I went to school, I didn't fit in nobody's culture because I was too light to be on the black side and too dark to be on the white side.
And I was raised up where you didn't want to fit in with nobody's culture.
See?
We had 5 sisters. I had 5. It was 5 of us.
It was just me.
So those were your friends.
So the wall was my friend. My imaginary friend. I had imaginary friends. So maybe that's why I cry all the time now. But listen, so don't you all hear us talk about it. We be joking with each other because sometimes you got to make light of things that's serious out there. And by no means are we taking it light that there is a Jim Crow. There is still prejudice bad.
Yes, it is bad.
We got the Karens out there.
Oh, Lord.
And then we got the black Karens too now.
I'm so sick of Karen.
But you got black Karens now.
I almost called the lady Karen on the phone the other day. I wanted to say, Karen, what is it that you want?
So do we need to call when the black people act the fool? Do we call them Karen or is that LaQuisha? Should we call them something else?
I don't know.
I don't know. We need to think about that. Well, they got the Karens, but I don't know.
I don't know.
But you guys just quit being mean. Quit being evil. Y'all are evil.
A new word. Quit being a sourpuss.
Where do you get that from?
I work with a lot of sourpuss. A lot of people that just are unhappy, period. Not just you just mean, you just unhappy.
You just unhappy.
Nothing seems to make you happy. I work with a lot of we go from all ages at our job. I'm sure y'all have all ages at yours, but it's all ages. But I'm seeing a lot of people that's 30 and under, 35 and under. Why are you angry?
Because they got a lot going on. I mean, pandemic
outside
made everybody.
Pandemic. This was before pandemic. This was before pandemic. I'm not
trying to help y'all.
I know you. No. Just angry. And I don't know how to address.
You ever seen a man and a wife just angry? Both of them angry all the time. I met some people like that.
I'm talking about you try to make people. And I'm not a people pleaser by no means.
Children angry too. Whole family angry.
Everybody just angry. And the pandemic just made it worse, seem like. But these people, I
want to come to work and have
angry.
a good time. I want to come to work and have fun.
Me too.
Do your job and have fun.
I tried to tell somebody some good news one time, and when I told the young lady some good news.
Well, speaking of good news,
this young lady looked at me like I was crazy. It made I was still happy about the good news, even though it wasn't for me, but it was mine to share, to give to her. And once I gave it to her, the response she gave me back, I just walked. I said, man, you can't. Some people, you just can't. They're going to always be lemony all the time. That's a good one. Lemony. They're going to always be lemony. No matter how much sugar you put to
you talking about lemonade like Beyonce?
You know what? I don't know what she's talking
lemony.
About. Just lemony.
Told y'all.
No sugar. No sugar at all. Try to add a little bit of sugar.
Get some water, get lemon, add lemon juice in it. And make them all
they just sour. Stop being sour. Just stop being
drinks
sour.
Is $2.75 now. You got to make up your own drink, y'all.
You know you get the little thing. You can make an actual soda now.
I don't want that. That's nasty. But speaking of good news, I just got a text from a member. Can't say the name, but we won another case.
Oh, great.
We won another case, y'all. Pace One helped another member, and they just sent me, said, thank you for all you do. Oh, I'm so glad to be a part of Pace.
Wait a minute, you were supposed to give me a heads up.
Oh gosh, maybe next time.
Say it again.
Okay. This says, thank you all for you do. I am so glad to be a part of Pace. I won my case.
They did. What was their case about? Was it?
Well, I can't discuss that right now.
No, just a brief, not nothing. Just
she all out of sync. She Here we go. We need some help. IT people, please. We got IT people in the membership. Somebody, please help us. I can't take it no more. But anyway, this person was terminated. And we fought for them. And they just got information that they're able to reapply.
Good.
So it's a win for us. So we're glad. But listen, we went over our time, but it's okay. But we're having a good time. I'm having a good time. You having a good time?
I am always.
So I want to let you know one more thing. Retirement. I told Tamara I will come back to retirement. You guys try your best. If you really don't want to retire, wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Things are going to change. Got to change for the better in November. whatever the case may be. It's got to. Because, I mean, I want to see what's happening. I can't wait for the debate. But we're going to keep you guys posted, you know, when these debates. Matter of fact, we got a meeting today.
We do. In a minute. At 3 o'clock, 3:30.
3:30. It's on the political side because somebody asked us will we endorse them. So we're going to meet with them.
Yeah, I know we don't do politics.
We don't, not me.
We be lost.
I don't do politics well, but so you know, if we ever come out and endorse somebody, we're serious about what that person's platform is going to be for the goodness of the employees. So we're glad that you were able to participate today, all of our chatters out there, and spread the word. The takeaways today, we look out for when we send you the survey. Please respond as soon as you can. For the annual meet and greet cookout, our first one we're going to have at Sweetwater Park, August 21st. We'll send you more details. Our website will be up and running in more detail. And we're going to be doing a lot of good things. So we appreciate you following us, the ones that, and you want to tell them about how to subscribe. I like when you say that. You hit the button to subscribe. I like that.
To subscribe, if you want, anytime we're going to be on, all you have to do is hit that button. It's going to say subscribe on the side. Plus, it makes us look good, like people are actually listening to what we have to say.
Well, Tamara, you've been hearing that for the last 24 years, so you can hang on.
Hearing what?
About don't retire. Well, hang on 4 more years, okay? We need you, Tamara. We love you. We need you because you are our ears and eyes over there in that crazy department that you in.
And we want to, so whatever departments that you guys are in, PACE is trying to be more proactive, right? So not only with these shows and everything, but if you guys just want a well check-in meeting, make sure everything is going good with your department and your side, just head up a meeting and let us know, and we'll get a meeting together. We could do them quarterly. Yeah, we can do them quarterly.
Or if you would like to be a guest on our show and just, you know, have something to talk about, good, bad, and different, let us know in advance and we invite you in a guest and you can be a guest speaker. I did get a request today from the chairperson of the Citywide Safety Committee would like to be a guest on our show.
And we need them. We need them. We need them because people want to hear what these, we just want to connect everybody. Thus the name, Radio Connections.
Radio Connection with PACE.
We're trying to bridge those gaps.
Yes, and one last thought. I got 1
foot in and 1 foot out. Bye, Tamara.
Tamara, I love you. We'll talk to you offline. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Radio Podcast with Radio with this ain't the cab. This ain't the this ain't the caffeinated. This must be the regular coffee. I'm starting to.
Hopefully next week we have some meetings all this week. So hopefully next week we got some good news.
Good news to share with you guys.
We have news
so spread the word. Stay tuned.
Yes.
We all should be back in some kind of in the quarters, back at work and all. So hang in there, you guys.
COVID is still out there.
Wear your mask, whether you've been vaccinated or not. Wear that mask where you're supposed to wear that mask. You know you're supposed to wear that mask in city facilities.
Yes. Please
wear your mask and stay safe. And we will see you guys then. And I better not get anything from nobody talking about they're retiring. We'll see you. We'll talk about it next week.
Next week.
Radio Connections with PACE is out.
We are out.
Have a good one.